At the Church of St. Ninian, Clooney sat in the wreckage of what had once been a pulpit. Redtooth, Darkclaw, Cheese Thief, and Fangburned lounged about at his feet on old, burst hassocks. Clooney was in one of his strange moods again. He showed little interest in the captive Vole family, merely ordering that they be kept under guard until he found time to deal with them. Most of his army slept in the choir loft or the Lady Chapel. The rest were posted on sentry duty outside. Cautiously, his captains watched the warlord. Clooney's long tail swished restlessly. The single eye stared at a carved eagle holding the rotten lectern on its outspread wings. What thoughts occupied the dark, devious mind of Clooney the Scourge? Finally, he looked up and spoke. "Go get Shadow. Bring him here to me." Darkclaw and Fangburn scurried off to obey the command. Silently, the others waited, their eyes glinting in evil anticipation. The chief had a plan. Like all his schemes, it would be cunningly simple and wickedly brilliant. There was no better general than Clooney when it came to strategy. Shadow had been with Clooney for many years. Nobody was sure if he was a rat or weasel, or even a bit of both. He was very lithe and wiry, and his long, sinewy back was covered in sleek, black fur. There was no hint of another color in his coat. It was blacker than moonless midnight. His eyes were strangely slanted, black without any brightness in them. The eyes of Shadow were like those of a dead thing. He stood before Clooney, who had to strain one eye against the darkness of the church to make sure he was really there. "Shadow, is that you?" The reply sounded like a whisper of wet silk across a smooth slate. "Clooney, I'm here. Why do you want Shadow?" The captain shivered at the sound of the voice. Clooney leaned forward. "Did you see the walls of that abbey today?" "Yes, I was there." "Shadow sees all. Tell me true, could you climb them?" "No beast I know could climb those walls. Except you, except me." Clooney gestured with his tail. "Come closer then. I will tell you what must be done." Shadow sat on the top pulpit step. Clooney issued his orders. "You will climb the abbey wall. Many sentries patrol the top of the wall. Take utmost care. If you get captured, you are of no use to me. There is no point in one alone trying to attack the gatehouse and open the door. It is too well guarded, so forget the gate." Shadow gave no hint that Clooney had inadvertently read his mind. He remained motionless as Clooney continued. "Once you've scaled the wall, make for the main abbey door. It should be locked for the night. You will use all your skill to get it open, without any noise. It is vital that you get inside. The first room you will find yourself is the main one. The mice call it Great Hall. Walk in, turn around, and on the left wall facing you is a long tapestry covered in pictures and designs. Now listen carefully. In the bottom right-hand corner of that tapestry is a picture of a mouse dressed in armor, leaning on a big sword. I want it. Cut it, rip it, or tear it out. But get it for me. I must have it. Don't come back without it, Shadow." Puzzlement was written on the face of the four captains who had overheard the orders. A picture of a mouse? Clooney had never been known as a collector of pictures. Fangburn whispered to Cheese Thief, "What use is a picture of a mouse to the chief?" Clooney heard. He came to the edge of the pulpit. Grasping the sides of the lectern, he surveyed his small congregation like some satanic minister. "Ah, Brother Fangburn, let me explain. I will tell you why it is that you and all your kind will forever remain servants, while I shall always be the master. Did you not see the faces of those mice today? The mere mention of Martin the warrior sends them into ecstasies. Don't you see? He is their symbol. His name means the same to those mice as mine does to the horde. In a different way, maybe. Martin is some sort of angel. I'm the opposite. Think for a moment. If anything were to happen to me, you'd all be a leaderless rabble, a headless mob. So if the mice were to lose their most precious omen, the picture of Martin, where would that leave them?" Redtooth slapped his haunches. He rocked to and fro, sniggering with uncontrollable glee. "Brilliant, Chief. Diabolical. They'd just be a crowd of terrified little mice without their wonderful Martin." Clooney's tail banged down on the rotten lectern, smashing it into several fragments, and that's when we'll strike. The powerful tail lashed backwards, wrapping itself around Shadow's body. He was dragged forward, face to face with his master. Clooney's rancid breath blasted into Shadow's face as he ground out each syllable. Bring that picture back to me. Do this, and your reward will be great when I sit on the abbot's chair in Redwall Abbey. But fail me, and your screams will be heard from beyond the woodland and meadows. Clooney the Scourge had spoken.